All right, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Hold on, let me sit this down here. Guys, today you can see behind me the generator building. It's been a long time since we've been able to get over here. What I'm working on this morning is the door jamb again. I know this winter we did a video on me installing the door. I did not like how the jamb itself looked. These boards all the way around were not the same thickness as the wall. So you can see now they're the same thickness. I'm working on, I took all these out, the door jamb completely out. I'm putting new boards in, making it the thickness of the wall. I'm actually routering. I did this last night. I'm routering it. It was a little bit thicker. So I'm actually flush cutting it to the wall. And that's happening on both sides. And then I got to notch out the hinges here. So I'm going to notch out the hinges on this board and reinstall the door. And at the same time today, let's see, we're finally going to finish the door jamb. And I have to custom build it. So I took a store-bought door jamb. I've got a store-bought door jamb, standard Home Depot, for a 2x6 wall. And I am going to use some wood I have, and I'm going to create that to the proper thickness, and it'll be good. All right, guys, finally working on the generator building. I'm going to get this door jamb all finished up, get the door finished, and we're going to start insulating this building. Actually, we're going to start insulating the roof, and then I'm going to start running wires for outlets and some electrical work on the inside before we insulate the walls. We'll see how far we get, but that's the job. Generator building continues. All right, we've routed as far as we can router, so I gotta pop the boards off and finish cutting out around the sides here. So on this board right here, I've marked where the hinges are going to go. And so you can see here, right there, there's one hinge, second hinge. So I've marked where the hinges are going to go. I'm going to go take a chisel. I'm going to chisel out where the hinges are at, or where they're going to go, and I'll be back. All right, so I got the door hung back on. It swings nice. I've got to mark where the latch is and the deadbolt is. I'm going to mark that on the door here, and then drill those holes in. So I know where the locations are, I just need to know how far in, so I'm going to measure the door here. Yeah, it looks like 1 inch and 1 inch. So we're going to go in 1 inch, mark. Let's go see what Vaughn's doing. I almost got the door finished. I just got to get a couple more things. The door stops, so the trim that goes around it stops the door from swinging opposite what it should when you close it. So got to put those in, and then I'm pretty much done, and I can start throwing up some insulation in the ceiling. Let's go see what Vaughn's doing. What you doing?
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Well, what I'm doing is I never finished sewing this back around.
Oh.
So I'm sewing it back around.
Finishing the mesh.
Yes. It's a super fun job. But it's,
Gotta love it.
It's way better doing it in the sunshine than it was in the cold blowing rain.
Right.
So I'm quite enjoying myself.
If you're wondering what that tote is, we have diatomaceous earth in there for the chickens to go in there and shake around and clean themselves. You guys, the water system is working awesome. The chickens have got used to pecking at the nipples inside, and we use the nipples and not the cups, so it's pretty cool. That thing's plumb diddly full, and then it comes down here and right into the coop. I'm actually going to shim this out a little bit so that it closes up the gap between the door and the frame. Okay, so I got the door hung. I got everything shimmed out where it needs to be. It looks good to me. I noticed that the door isn't perfectly square in the frame. So I'm going to trim the door top real quick, and then we're going to work on this threshold, and we're going to build that custom threshold and get that finished up. That's next on the hopper. Once I get that done, I'm finally done, and we can move in and get some real stuff done on the building. All right, it's time for me to get the threshold made. Oh, so I bought a store-bought threshold. You can see right there. And what I'm going to do, I marked it right here. I'm going to cut this to the width that it needs to be. And then on this back side here, I'm going to dado a board, and we're going to attach a board here and out as far as it needs to go. So it needs to be like this wide to cover the whole doorway. So I'm going to cut a board and I'm going to have a dado. You can see that that's like a 1/2 inch board there. So I got to cut a dado, which is basically an L shape, in that board, and it'll butt up to this and hang over this, and it'll give me a perfect threshold, the width that I need. And then basically just screw it down, and it'll be it'll be like a regular threshold. So that's where the store-bought threshold will sit. I have to extend it from here out to here. So however that is the board width that I want to cut, and then we have to manipulate that board to fit up here where I want it to fit, the thickness and everything. So that is the plan. This will fit in here. That fits real nice, but I need to cut a bevel because I'm marrying it, what I'm matching up to has got a little bit of a bevel on it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of a bevel on that. And then I'm going to have to plane it down a little bit. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so I need to go ahead and plane this down. I need to take off, a little more than 1/8 of an inch. I have a 6-inch joiner that I'm gonna use to plane this down. It just, because it's less than 6 inches, I can just run over it real quick and it'll thin the surface down just right. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, after planing that down, it's a lot thinner, but it fits perfect. So now the only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drill holes and I'm going to screw that down, and then I'm going to have to cut the door to fit over top of the threshold. Yeah, let's put a screw in that. All right, now let's get this thing situated. And that there is how you make a custom threshold. That is awesome. Perfect. Now we just got to cut the door down. Yeah, it looks amazing. It fits perfect. And as soon as the door is cut down, it'll slip right over it. Just fine. Oh man, that thing's heavy. All right, guys, so you can see behind me we're at a boat harbor. So where are we? Well,
Valdez.
Yeah, it was Vaughn's birthday yesterday, and she wanted to go back to our old stomping grounds in Valdez. We lived here for 5 years when I was in the military, doing the Coast Guard bit here, and
yeah, we wanted to come down and have some fun.
All right, it's an absolutely beautiful place. If you haven't been to Valdez,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous, and the ocean behind us. There's a big bay behind us. It's like 11 miles long, and then it goes out into Prince William Sound and then out into the Gulf of Alaska.
Yeah,
so.
And then you can see the mountains behind there. On the other side there, that's where the pipeline ends.
Yep, yeah. the Alaska oil pipeline ends right here in Valdez, 800 miles of pipeline, and then they put it on the ships and ship it out of here. So
Yeah.
the mountains behind us, you can see all these mountains around Valdez. It's like it's a big hole. You're sitting right in the mountains, and it goes from basically ocean up to 7,000 feet in elevation on these mountains. So it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
But we'll show you around a bit.
Yeah, we're just gonna enjoy it and have fun.
All right, guys, we are back in Tok. We had a blast down in Valdez for Vaughn's birthday. It was great stomping around our old grounds that we just reminiscing and kind of remembering old things, but what a beautiful place to be. We are back in Tok. Like I said, you can see the generator building behind me. It is time to get started doing the wiring and the roof insulation, but that's going to be for another video, guys. It is Memorial Weekend. We have family coming up. I want you guys to remember all of our fallen brothers and sisters. It's a great time to remember that, not just have fun. Guys, have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, thumbs up as always. Share it on your social media, and we'll see you on the next one.